Happy Monday, everybody. Russ here on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Today, with my amazing guest, Jason Cooper, good friend. You are not going to want to miss Jason today. So buckle up, share with all your friends, tag your friends. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Best Heating and Cooling, the Alzheimer's Association, and ACMG Digital. For more information on Best Heating and Cooling and their heating and cooling services based out of Scioto, Oregon, go to best-heating.com. And for more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to give to this amazing organization, go to alz.org. And finally, for more information on ACMG Digital and how they expand your reach globally, go to acmgdigital.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. I am so glad you're here this morning. Oh my goodness, it's going to be great. No matter what time of day it is for you, we are going to have an amazing conversation. My friend Jason Cooper is just awesome, and you're not going to want to miss it. So right now, buckle up and make sure that you share this out with people. Let people know Marketing with Russ is on and Jason's going to be here. Tag your friends. So simple to do. It's Monday morning. Everybody's busy. I get it. They don't remember all the things that are happening. They just like Jason said to me this morning, head down, focused, ready to move forward, right? That's all right. That's a good way to be. So today, though, make sure that they know Marketing with Russ is on. And I guess what? If they can't watch live, if you can't watch live, you can still watch on replay, because after we're done on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, it sits there. You can watch forever on YouTube and LinkedIn, and for 30 days on Facebook. And there's more. Guess what? It also converts to audio podcasts. So Marketing with Russ can also be listened to on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So you're going to want to make sure and listen to that while you're cooking, jogging, getting ready for work, whatever it is, if you're not able to watch. And even if you're able to watch, maybe you want to listen again to make sure you don't miss all the pearls of wisdom and great value that Jason has for you today. You do not want to miss it, I'm telling you. So he is an expert in sales and leadership and all kinds of great things. He is there to help you. And we're going to give you all of his contact information today because you're going to want to get in touch with him. So if this is your first time, welcome. What is Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, all about? Well, it's about how amazing people connect. That's right. I am a firm believer that connection and community building is the foundation for any good marketing plan, any good business, really any good life. So I highly encourage you to connect and build community. Guess what? I love to connect. So go to russhedge.com today, russhedge.com. If you know my name, I keep it simple. put a .com on it. You're all good to go. All the information about me, all the contact links, all the things about my inspirational speaking, my marketing coaching, my live streaming and producing, all of that is there. Even information about my cancer story is there. So you can get all that information there. There's also a freebie if you go to russhedge.com today and you hit the download PDF button, you will get connection information, how to truly connect. 3 steps, 3 simple, not always easy, but 3 simple steps. So do that today. With that, guess what? You get my encouraging morning emails. They're not spam. They're not salesy. What they are is a way to lift you, encourage you, because I am all about encouraging and inspiring you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to soar to new heights. I want you to have an impact on all those that you touch and that are around you. So today, that's what I'm all about. And I'm glad that you're here today. Thanks for those that are here that are already saying hi in the comments. And if you would do me a favor, don't forget what I said before, share this and tag your friends right now. Also, while we're getting ready for the show, don't forget that you can subscribe on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is blowing up and growing. So you need to go to YouTube. It's simple also. If you know the name of this show, you can get there. Marketingwithruss.live will take you directly to my YouTube page, marketingwithruss.live. In fact, open a separate tab right now, type it in, hit subscribe. You're done. You have so much value. There's going to be thousands of good, awesome live streams and videos up there that you can get great content, great value, but also a lot of fun. On YouTube Shorts, you'll find that my animals are way more popular than I am. Maddie and Maisie. If you want to know my beagle and my cat, there you go, Maddie and Maisie. So with that, okay, we got 2 more things. Don't forget behind me, my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. Great way to inspire and encourage you to live the life you choose, a life of purpose, a life of intention, a life of good perspective and mindset. If you want that kind of information, go to my website. It's hard to believe, russhedge.com. You can get all that, but you can also go to Amazon and a lot of online booksellers to pick that up as well, even local booksellers. And there's some Barnes and Noble that carry a couple of the books there as well. So that is great. Also, we every Monday and Thursday do our marketing tip of the day. This is our last thing before we get Jason in. Just a little tip to help you out. This gets cut out, put on YouTube Shorts, gets put on social media separately. So you can actually share, you can watch and share the marketing tip of the day all by itself. So those people that maybe miss this too, you just want to get that out to them. Just share with them the marketing tip of the day. It's a good way to lift them up, give them a little nugget of value. And so are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Be a leader. That's right. Be a leader. That's simple. What do you mean by that, Russ? Well, I'm telling you, when you lead the way, when you are a leader and you lead by your actions and the things you do, you make a difference and an impact on people right now, those people around you. Guess what? Everybody's a leader. You say, no, I'm not a leader. Everybody affects and impacts somebody. Everybody leads somebody. So everybody is a leader. And guess what? If you're doing good things, if you're being positive and you're lifting others up, if you're encouraging and being thankful, that shows other people a great mindset and perspective to live their life by. Also, you can lead with great business tips, great marketing tips, helping them with their social media, showing them things that they can do. If that's the way you make a living, give some value and then have a good conversation. That's how you build a know, like, and trust, and you build people that you want to work with today. So your marketing tip today is be a leader, get out there, make it happen. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. Okay, we're all done. We're going to get Jason in the room here. He's back there patiently waiting. Mr. Jason Cooper.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
Very good, thank you. How is my sound today? Am I good?
You are sounding good. Good.
Excellent.
So as you're sounding good, why don't you tell everybody, those few that have not seen you on here before, who in the world is Jason Cooper? What are you up to?
So, my name's Jason Cooper. I'm a high performance trainer, coach. I work in lots of different eclectic avenues on strategy, focus, the neuroscience behind how we do, and the behaviors and the essence behind human connection. Because everything that we do is human connection. So, let's build back in these skills that we have. And what I'd like to be speaking about today, and I did a talk about this a few weeks ago, is wired for connection. How we can build more trust, empathy, and influence in this distracted world. And what I mean by that, we are constantly distracted wherever we are. Our brain is overloaded. The challenges that we face as business leaders, and if you're into sales like we are, there's so much going on, and our brain cannot focus on too much at once, and our brain just gets overloaded. We just cannot see what's in front of us, which is our clients. So what do we naturally need to be doing by giving us better trust, better influence, and not being overloaded by too many dopamine hits that we get, which is doing something to our heads? And we know this, and there's more and more stuff that's happening all the time with this AI happening, which is great, and I love it. Lots of technology around, but it's actually not working with us. So let's build how we can look at this in a more empathetic way and actually start to really listen with the eyes. Okay, we have ears, but how do we mean, and what do I actually mean when we listen with the eyes? There's lots of different avenues that we have to lean forward into to really understand what's going on in front of us. And the parts of the conversations that we are having, we generally speaking about 200 words per minute, depending on where we are in the world, on average. But, and this is a big but, is we talk to ourselves in about 800 words per minute. So what is actually going on? If we're talking to ourselves in 800 words per minute, but then we're distracted by everything else that's going around with us. So we've got too many tabs that are open on our screens. Our phone is buzzing. Our laptops are open. We're in these meetings and we got our laptops open, and I've seen it in lots of instances. Why, oh, why do you as professionals sit in front of a meeting, and I mean this in a nicest possible way, you have your laptop open, you have your phone on your table. Are you actually listening to the conversations that you're having in your team meetings when your brain is thinking in 800 words per minute? You're talking in 200 words, and then you got the laptop open. Are you actually engaged with what's going I think not.
No,
So,
you are so right. I want to break in there real quick and just say this. I notice it so much more in others, and then I catch myself doing it. So when my kids were young, I started noticing my kids, especially my son, would be watching TV, have his laptop open,
yep.
have his phone going,
Yep.
and be doing other things at the same time. And I'm like, how can you focus on any of that? But you catch yourself in meetings or whatever the same way, like you're talking about. And we are easily distracted. I know that I am easily distracted and pulled off point. And I think that you said it very well. It's very important to focus and be introspective about how we are approaching all that we do in an intentional way, right?
Yeah, we have to make sure that we're present in our own skin and really understanding ourselves first. What do we notice? As you said, you just noticed that you were distracted. As you start to understand yourself, you can actually start to understand other people. What we want to start to build in is high amounts of oxytocin. Oxytocin is the trust chemical. We build people and brands we like and trust and connect with. But before we get into oxytocin, we have to work out how and why we are so dopamine heavy, meaning we're always looking for that praise. We're always looking for that like. We always, there's Russ typing away in the background, but it's, I mean that because you're looking for that to get engagement within that. But every other aspect is we are looking for other ways of getting those hits and those dopamine hits, and our brains cannot handle it because that builds up too much stress. What we want to try and do, and what we will have to do, is what do we need to do to build that trust and focus within a blink of an eye? And what I mean by that is people like themselves. When we engage with people, and I'm looking at yourself, Russ, in an instant, I like you because you got that really good, happy, smiley face. You're quite warm and you have a really good tone about you. Within a blink of an eye, I connect with you really well, and very connected because I know you're present and I know you're in the room. But the challenges, again, is there's lots of other stuff actually happening. And we really need to build that back into how we work as human beings. And this is something that I like to teach people. And especially if I'm running a workshop, I want to teach people how to be here and now. Number one is put your laptops away and put your phones away if you like them. Yeah. But it's just so very important. And it's also to build people's names in so they actually register. People like to hear their names being mentioned. So when you're actually in a sales call or when you're actually in a meeting, it's to bring the customer's name in. So you're actually registering that you're interested in them and they actually like to hear their own names, like Russ.
Right.
And his wonderful book that he has behind him.
Well, you know what I think that people need to realize? I think we all need to take a realistic look at ourselves. And it's not like we don't want to beat up on ourselves, but we want to realize I am the first person that I'm here to admit easily distracted, have too many things going on, even though I want to be exactly like Jason said, always be focused, always be very intentional because I love people. I love talking to Jason. He's so full of so much great information. Sometimes there's things we have to do, like we're producing the show while we're on the show. There's certain distractions that are necessary, but we got to limit those distractions so we can focus on what's at hand. And I'm telling everybody out there, you do not want to miss what's going on because Jason has got such great points. And I love this, what Catherine said. She's so funny. She was checking her email, so she missed the last point. So
Exactly.
anyway,
And that's exactly it.
And even though she's being funny, that is so true, right? It is so true. So we need to think about what we're doing. We need to focus in on what's important at hand. Because if we're not present, Jason, we're missing so much, right?
Yeah. If you're in the room, be in the room.
Right.
Lean forward into every moment. And it's just so very true. Because we are missing so much that is around us. Because we're so looking at, let me think about the next question I'm going to ask.
Right.
Let me think about, I've written all these questions down. I'm in a meeting or I'm doing something and I've got this whole list of questions. Hang on a minute, Russ. I haven't asked you this question. And it's totally relevant to the conversation because all of a sudden you're throwing this question in and you're going, well, what relevance does that have? Russ actually just expressed something else about his challenges, his concerns and stuff like that. And I'm just whittering on about some other stuff, which is not relevant. So getting a little bit more connected with us, there's something in the frontal lobe, apparently, it's a mystifying thing. It's called the mirror neurons. And the mirror neurons is you like people like yourself. Number one, great. You also like people that are smiley and connected, that like yourself, but we also like people that are use the same, I think the word is colonialisms, the similar sort of language,
right?
Minus the acronyms. And I'm saying that as a point. Do not use acronyms As I'm going to point at you. Do not use them in a conversation, in a sales conversation. Don't do it, because I don't know what it means. You're throwing them in and explain what it actually means. And if the other person knows it, excellent. If they're in a similar place, I'm probably going on a bit of a rant here because I have it in my head. So the mirror you and people like themselves, but using the right language with them, keeping your language quite clear and concise with it as well, using a similar tone, because there's a relationship actually happening with the other person. And as I suggested, oxytocin is being built by trust, and that trust chemical. So when I start to say that, is not mimic the other person, because that's just influence, not influence at all. But we want to do it in a way that is organic. And what I mean by that, have you ever noticed two couples in a bar, restaurant, cafe, coffee shop, and you're looking around and they're both leaning forward, they're both leaning into each other, having that deep conversation with them? They sound similar to each other, but they're doing it automatically. That is full on rapport, that is full on trust, and that's full on engagements. So we can have more of these engagements with other people like that to make it feel organic, make having that area of trust. So
let me,
one question for you, Russ.
Oh, go ahead.
What's one conversation that you rushed lately that you could have gone in deeper with?
Well, unfortunately, I have to rush every marketing with Russ because I want to go longer. But so that would be a good one right there, because it's the time constraints.
I know.
Well, there was a time constraints on a conversation I had on a Zoom meeting just last week. Somebody that I really wanted to talk to longer, but because of another meeting, might have been a doctor's appointment, I can't remember, but I had to go. It was not even a choice. I just had to leave. And so anyway, it was a bummer though, but I always follow those up with, hey, let's reschedule another conversation so we could talk longer. But this is what I want to go back to, what you said. And that is, being in the room, being intentional, and really focusing in on all that we're doing. I think that this is the thing that, and you've been really hammering on this, but it's true. We all do this, and we need to catch ourselves. And when we're, like you said, way back in the beginning, Jason, listening with our ears and our eyes, we need to be, when we're listening with our eyes on our face. I had a friend when I was young, his name was Brian, and I learned from him the most engaged looks of listening that I'd ever seen in my life. When you talk to him, he was like this. He was so excited. He was zoned in. He was focused on you. I was so excited about what I was saying. I didn't even know what I was saying because I was watching him be so excited about what I was saying. And the thing is, what does that communicate to people? And that is back to what you said. That's back to what you said. And that is, people connect faster when they see you leaning in, when they see you focus on what is actually happening. They know that you're in the conversation, right? Yeah. And especially, Jason, my recommendation to people always, this is what I try to do with myself. I also have hearing issues, hearing problems. So this is good for me in two ways.
Me too.
I repeat back to them. So not only am I trying to listen, but I'm showing them I'm listening, and it's helping me because I'm confirming my hearing is so bad. I get context all messed up sometimes, and I have to say, okay,
I get high tinnitus.
I know. Well. So it's like, is this what you said? Because I want to get it. I think that's a great thing you're going to stay on.
I completely agree with you there, Russ. And because I get tinnitus like yourself, I have to really listen in, and I'm doing paraphrasing back to them because I just want to make sure that I've heard them correctly, number one. Right. But number two, it's a matter of respect. Huge amount of respect that you've actually heard what they're saying. And if they're agreeing and they go, oh yeah, that's great, you can ask them up a following question based on exactly what's being said. And something else I was going to say is pause more. when you ask a question and you paraphrase back, our brain takes a few moments to actually listen in. So, Russ, if you were asking me a question, throw the question and shut up and be quiet. Don't ask a question with a question with a question. And sometimes we can do that. We frame a question, and because we're just panicking, we throw another question based on something else. And then you go, well, what question are you asking? Keep it very clear and simple. Give them time for pause. Doesn't matter if it's up to 5 seconds. That is great.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Well, and listen, this is something else that I think on that exact same thing that you're talking about. And that is, you need to give yourself space, but you need to give conversation space.
Yeah.
And what you just said is so true. And I'm horrible at this sometimes. I've gotten so much better through interviewing like this. Ask one question, stop and listen. And I find myself on text messaging, asking them 3 questions, boom, boom, boom. And they forget the first 2, even though they're in print in front of them, and they answer the 3rd one.
Yeah.
So I learned to ask one question, wait for a response, ask another question, wait for a response, especially in a conversation too. If I say, okay, Jason, how do you feel about sales leadership? And when you're leaders in a group, how do you feel about the group and giving them power? And while you're doing that, Jason, how do you feel about this? And I've asked you 4 questions and you're like, you've lost me. You've lost me 2 questions ago. So it's just a matter of slowing down, give yourself space, and give the conversation space. This is something I always need to work on.
There's a song and it goes, silence is golden. And it's so very, very true. So silence might feel awkward to you, but it might not feel awkward to you listening in.
Right.
Because slow down, breathe, as you put into the chat, and it makes it a little bit better in how we can communicate a little bit more effectively with others. And it's good to slow it down and then speed it up when you're very excited about that. Yeah. So the magic happens when you listen. Trust is built in moments of emotional safety. Empathy activates when influence actually happens, when you have high oxytocin of trust and that connection. Okay, you get that instant body language connection with someone else, and it is in a blink of an eye, but then you have to build on it. So based on everything that we've said, once you've done that, is you create some wonderful narratives and stories to build in a little bit more within what we do and help the other person completely resonate in their world as opposed and into your world. So that mirror neurons, as we said earlier, to build those connection, what a better way is create some wonderful images into your clients, customers, or your team's imagination so they can resonate very, very quickly.
Let me say on that too, if you want to build loyal customers in your business, if you have this communication, you're excited to spend time together and talk. It's a good environment, Jason. They want to do business with you. You're getting them to lean in to the whole process of wanting to have that know, like, and trust with you, and do, because they're building that, you're building that through the conversations. They actually are excited about doing business with you. That's how you gain loyal customers, people that aren't going to say, I'll try it, I'll see, how it goes. And if it doesn't go good, I'll just try somebody else. There's a lot of people like that. And you really have made no connection if that's their attitude, right? No significant connection. When I walked into an office, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to give you the last word. When I walk into an office, I want them to come out of their office doors I want them to come from the back of the office intentionally because they heard my voice. I want everybody to come up and talk to me. I want them to be excited that I'm there. I don't want them closing the door and telling their secretary or their assistant,
Don't let Russ hit you. Don't let him in.
yeah, tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm busy. I said, I tell them, if that ever happens, shoot
Yeah.
me. Just shoot me now, right? I mean, get it over with, because I never want to be that guy. I want to be the fun guy that everybody wants to see, right? Because that
Yeah.
makes a big difference. People say it's just not all about having fun and doing things. Well, I tell you what, at the beginning and in a relationship, it is. You've got to have fun. You got to have a connection. You got to people want to do business with you. And those people that have read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And by the way, if you haven't, wow, get a copy
should
right
read.
now. Right now, when this is over, go to Amazon, get a copy. There's free copies online. I mean, you get it free. There's a great story in there about a man who walked into an office, discovered just through the conversation and listening, like you said, that his prospective customer had a problem. This salesman never sold him once. He said, "Hey, I know a guy." He helped the customer solve his problem. After about 3 conversations and him just helping his customer solve this problem, that's all they've done. He was walking out the door, and the prospective customer said, "Hey," I don't remember his name, but let's just say it's Bob. "Hey, Bob, I know what you do. I know what business you're in. When you leave today, I'm informing all of my staff to move all of our business to your company."
Mm,
He never sold in one time, but he built a relationship. He solved a problem, helped a customer. That made all the difference in the world.
totally and utterly concur with that, because you're helping them and discover what they want, and in turn they will buy from you as opposed to being sold to. So the final words that I want to say, because I know that you're always hot on time today, is the best people don't close deals, they open relationships.
That's so good. That is so good. I'm writing that down.
No, that's mine. I've got that on
Oh,
a
no, I'm writing it down so I remember for me.
right, okay. And on that point is, as you said, it's always about having a little bit of fun, and like we always have a little bit of fun and joke. But you know, if you have to take things serious, but if you're got a good bit of energy about you, and you have that smile about you, and you have some good humor, it's amazing how well it works when you're with someone.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. Always happens. Always is again is building those trusted relationships with people.
Yes. Well, you know what? First of all, is it okay if I quote you on that? If I give
Of
you all the
course you
credit?
can.
Oh
Of
my
course you
goodness.
can.
Because you know what? I am going to add that to I'm going to actually add that to my workshop that I give called how to turn cold calling into making friends. And it's really based on, a lot of it's based on Dale Carnegie
Yep.
and his stuff. But I love this quote, and I'm going to use that. Let everybody, if you missed it, please don't close sale. People don't close sales. They open relationships. And that's
So
all about, it's all about your vocabulary, which I
yeah,
actually talk about. Closing is very negative. Opening is very positive, right?
yeah,
And really, you're there to make friends and open relationships, because that's where the magic happens. So
absolutely.
just for the sake of time, even though I want to say so much more, and Jason, we're going to have you back
As
again.
always.
You're becoming a regular. You're going to be on again. But give us your golden nugget. Tell us what you think is the most important thing we talked about today that you want people to remember for sure. And how does everybody get in touch with you?
Trust is made in a blink of an eye. We are distracted in this world, but what we have to try to look at is how we can stay more connected with people. And the last quote, I will say it again: the best salespeople don't close deals, They open relationships. You can find me at LinkedIn. I'm all over LinkedIn. Just do a search on LinkedIn. jasoncooper.io, which is the website. Instagram, Jason A. Cooper. That's it, really. Lots and lots of stuff. Very simple. Keep it in the power of 3, linguistically in the power of 3 as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, first of all that magically appeared below you and is ticking along the bottom of your LinkedIn is. And I'm telling everybody, get in touch with Jason. So I'm scheduling into late summer, but we're going to have Jason on again when he's available, because he's so full of great value for you. And this is what I love about Marketing with Russ. Repeat guests that continue to add more and more and more value. Jason and I could talk for hours. And a lot of that is because we have such a great relationship. By the way, Jason, looking at next spring break, heading to Ireland. So we're going to have to get together. I'm going to introduce my beautiful wife to you when we get over there. But
Guinness Zero or fully loaded Guinness, whichever one you prefer.
There you go. I'm excited. So, but you know what? You and I have built such a great relationship just this way. I mean, our friend D. Scott Smith says, even with video, you can build lifelong lasting relationships. We still have face-to-face interaction. We can still talk, communicate in real time. And I think that's so important for people to remember, because we can't go see everybody. I get that. This world's so big. And you know what? You just need to reach out, connect with people, whatever way you can do it. And Jason, thanks so much again for giving us so much great information and being here again today. I'm going to say goodbye to you now and send you to the green room, but hang tight for just a sec. All right. All right. See you, my friend. Wow. Did I say wow? I'm telling you, you guys need to connect with, and gals need to connect with Jason. He is such a powerful leader and sales communicator in a positive way. With your sales and marketing and all the things you need, Jason is a great person to lean into. Both of us are here to connect with you. And I'm telling you, but connect with Jason today. It is so critical. And I would love to connect with you too. I'm always here at russedge.com. And so you connect with me there today. Also, don't forget, let's see here if I can bring this up for you. Yeah, don't forget to please subscribe on YouTube. You can see Jason's previous episodes. He's been on several of my shows. All of my shows are there, and just fun stuff. So you want to subscribe on YouTube, go to marketingwithruss.live today, and you can subscribe. You know the name of the show, you can get there. Also, russedge.com is how you connect with me. And even if you're watching on replay, please share this out. Please tag your friends. Let them know. Please subscribe to YouTube. Do all that you can to make sure and be connected with people today. In real time, be present. When you're in the room, be in the room, as Jason said. And that is so important. So thankful you're here. We're always here Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. That's right. After this goes live and we're done, it sits on the platforms, and you can watch video podcasts forever on YouTube and LinkedIn, and for 30 days on Facebook. And it also goes to audio podcasts. You can listen on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Would love for you to do that. Give us likes, give us listens, and share that with your friends. A lot of people, it's easier for them to listen. And so sure love for you to do that. So until we see you again, have an amazing week. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you Thursday. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.